From monsoon rains in India, turning a busy city street into a raging river, to an incredible video of a torrent of muddy debris in India, Himachal Pradesh. On the northernmost tip of India, it's nestled in the western Himalayas and is home to almost 7 million people. The state is also nicknamed Devbhoomi, which means land of God. In the summer of 2021, the people of Devbhoomi experienced the power of God in action. Floodwaters roared through Himachal Pradesh, destroying everything in the way. Several caught-on-camera moments put the sheer power of this flood in perspective as it tore through cities and neighborhoods. The water washed away cars and destroyed buildings, leaving Indians to marvel at the sheer power of Mother Nature. Water rushes through the first village as helpless bystanders record from an overlooking bridge. Our cameraman was lucky enough to capture the moment when the flash flood took an entire building with it. Hopefully, the Dr. Guard clinic had some kind of insurance. We then jump to a more urban area where the floodwaters send cars careening down a steep hill. People watch from the safety of their balconies as the damage toll keeps ticking up and up and up. But what caused such violent flooding in the first place? Well, June to September is monsoon season in northern India. In fact, parts of western and central India get 90% of their annual rainfall between these months. In 2021, monsoon season started a little early, when Himachal Pradesh experienced several cloud bursts. As we know, rain gets stored in the clouds. When the rain gets too heavy, it falls down to earth. Pretty simple, right? A cloud burst occurs when all the water in a cloud falls at once. This happens when strong uprushes of air, brought on by thunderstorms, keep the rain from falling out. When the wind dies down, the rain lets loose. Unfortunately, Himachal Pradesh is no stranger to natural disasters. They're susceptible to earthquakes, landslides, cloud bursts, floods, avalanches, droughts. USA. Four Corners is a popular tourist destination for those traveling through the southwestern United States. It's the spot where Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico meet, marked by a monument aptly named the Four Corners Monument. The area is also home to the San Juan River. It serves as a fantastic hiking area for the eager, outdoorsy type. That is until you get caught in a flash flood. In the summer of 2015, a group of hikers and campers got more than they bargained for when heavy rain triggered a flash flood near the river. Judging from the video, the hikers got caught in the storm and sought cover underneath the rocks overhead. Once the rain stopped, the flooding commenced. All seemed calm as three girls huddled under the rocks. Up ahead, water trickled over the massive rock wall. Trickles turned to streams, and streams turn into an all-out waterfall, washing away anything in the valley below. As panic sets in, one geography-savvy man points out the erosion pattern and believes the group is safe on the cliffside. Towards the end, we see one camper decided to sleep in and got stuck in their tent as the floodwaters raged around them. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. When the flash flood occurred, our friend in the tent appeared safe, and those on the cliff just waited out the passing storm. Arizona, USA. When a natural disaster occurs, everyone in the vicinity has a different experience, depending on how close they are. Some might sit back and appreciate the shock and awe, while others fear for their lives. In 2017, Two Arizona families had entirely different experiences. When heavy rain and forest fires created the perfect situation for a deadly flash flood. What begins as a clear landscape quickly becomes a raging river of ashy water and debris. The current consumes everything in its path and moves along with unrelenting force. Thankfully, the people in this video knew to get out of the way in time. Oh my God, it's coming right at us. Holy. Well, it slowed down a lot compared to the last time we saw it. Holy moly. Holy crap. Go get the trucks. The local government already had flash flood warnings in effect. These people knew what was coming and were prepared to get it on film. But when the water got closer, they realized how much danger they were actually in. They got out of the way in the nick of time to watch the rapids literally eat a pair of pine trees as they passed. About halfway through, you hear one of the men say, "It's got a lot of ash from the fire." But what is he talking about? Before the flood, forest fires cleared out a large area of trees and vegetation, leaving nothing to slow the unstoppable water. Unfortunately, a different family learned that lesson the hard way. They were celebrating a birthday and swimming in a popular swimming hole. Even though flood warnings were in effect, they didn't think that they were in harm's way. Then the flood came out of nowhere and swept the entire family downstream. The moral of the story: never underestimate the sheer power of nature. Istanbul, Turkey. Next to Istanbul, Turkey's capital city of Ankara is the second largest in the country. It's an ancient city dating back to the Bronze Age, or about 3,300 BC. The population exploded over the last century, growing from 75,000 in 1927 to over 5 million as of 2020. In the spring of 2018, those 5 million residents witnessed what the mayor of Ankara called a disaster like never before. Hard rain and cities built on hills don't mix well, especially for the people toward the bottom. 3 hours worth of heavy rain fell in just 9 minutes, sending walls of water down the streets of Ankara's Mamuk district. In total, 164 cars got swept away in the flood. But that wasn't nearly the end. The video opens with a terrifying sight: a driver trapped in his car, with little room to maneuver. Cars keep floating all around him. One even passes with another guy riding on top. Women scream and onlookers panic. This must have been one of the scariest moments they've ever lived through. You can tell how powerful the current is as it pushes a cargo car semi-truck down the hill. The windshield wipers are still on, but we can't tell if the driver is still inside. Thankfully, the raging flood only injured a handful of people. Don't worry, the guy riding on top of his car was rescued later. While the property damage must have totaled in the millions, nobody paid the ultimate price. Las Vegas, Nevada. People tend to forget that Las Vegas, Reno, and Carson City aren't the only inhabitable places in Nevada. Some towns like Fish Springs offer an entirely different look into the lives of the average Nevadayan. Fish Springs is a tiny town of 518 people and a part of Carson County. In July of 2014, Carson County experienced some incredible weather in the dead heat of summer, when 1.5 inches of rain fell in only 30 minutes. It doesn't seem so. How did the rain in Carson County compared to the average storm? Rainfall breaks down into 3 measurements: light, mild, and heavy. Light rain can dump about 1/10 of an inch of rain in an hour. Meanwhile, heavy rain dumps about 3/10 of an inch. The ground usually has ample time to soak up the rain, or the drainage systems can do what they do best. However, when 1.5 inches of rain falls in 30 minutes, everything gets backed up. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, just be sure to click the link on screen now.